All right, here we go. Um, Another example similar to the last one. We'll go through it a little more quickly with the less explanations along the way as far as the theory behind it. But here we go. So our first step, we've got probably a better first step is actually let's start with our domain. We got 0 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 2 pi. And we are going to go to 1/2 of 1/2 of x. So how would we get to half of x? Well, we're going to divide everything by 2. 0 divided by 2 is still 0, less than or equal to 1/2 x, which is less than half of 2 pi, which is just pi. And so here's where we're considering from 0 to pi. When will this, when will negative 3 times the cosine of 1/2 x be equal to 2? All right, so we got negative 3 times cosine of 1/2 x equals 2. Our first step is to divide both sides by negative 3. That gives us cosine of 1/2 x equals negative 2/3. And so we're going to take the inverse cosine of negative 2/3. Oops, forgot my x back up here. And that'll be equal to 1/2 x. Okay, so just as far as 1/2 x is concerned, let's think of the unit circle for a second. When would we have cosine be equal to negative 2/3? Well, cosine is going to be negative here in quadrant 2 and also in quadrant 3. So that's kind of where our results are going to happen. All right, we've got 2 divided by 3, and then make that negative. And we're going to take the inverse cosine, and it gives us 2.3 radians. So let's see, 2.3, that's the inverse cosine of negative 2/3, is equal to 1/2 of x. Sorry, just a second. All right, sorry about that. So here we go. So 2/3 is equal to 1/2 x. And so again, remember where we talked about they would happen in the second and third quadrant. The cosine of an angle is equal to negative 2/3, both in the second and third quadrant. And we're given that the angle is 2.3 radians, which means our reference angle would be 3.14 minus 2.3. So our reference angle is 0.84 radians, 0.84 radians. Here in the third quadrant, it's going to be 3.14 plus 0.84 radians, and so 3.98. And I hope that even as I did that, you went, hey, wait a second. We only need to be concerned about from 0 to pi. So even though, so to write it the same way we wrote this last problem, the 1/2 x, let me lower this down a little bit, separate it from that. So 1/2 x, where is that answer going to be at? Well, we've got 2.3 radians. That's going to be in quadrant 2. And in quadrant 3, it's going to happen at 3.98 radians. However, this is past our domain of pi, which is 3.14. So this one is excluded. That one can't happen. So then we're looking for where is x itself. And so how would I get x by itself? I'm going to multiply everything by 2. 1/2 times 2 is 1, and that times x is x. And 2.3 times 2 is going to give us 4.6. 4.6 radians is our answer there. Hope that helps.